At this point in time, I think it is premature for us as a commission to contemplate holding a by-election in Kawempe on account of this decision. Why? Because under the law, they see the avenue process, the appellate process by any of the aggrieved parties. So it is only after that process has been concluded and the final court, which is the Court of Appeal, stroke Constitutional Court, has pronounced itself on the matter, that we can now determine whether we shall go for a by-election in Kawempe North and when we should do that. So for the moment, I think, let us hold on and see whether the appeal process is concluded or any of the aggrieved parties in this petition is going to appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then we see the final decision. And secondly, the Commission can only begin the process of organizing for a by-election after receiving a formal notification from the Clerk to Parliament. That's what the Constitution says, that the Clerk to Parliament shall notify the Electoral Commission of the existence of a vacancy in the Parliament, and the Electoral Commission shall conduct by-elections to fill that vacancy within 60 days. Since at the moment, two things have not yet happened. One, the days provided for in law for an appeal have not yet expired or lapsed. Secondly, we have not yet received any formal communication from the Clerk to Parliament notifying us of a vacancy in the Parliament. Therefore, for us as a commission, we are still comfortably seated where we are. We cannot even contemplate or begin to plan for a by-election when the due processes in law have not yet been fully exhausted or complied with.
Do you still have time in the law in case all that happens? Is there still time to organize a by-election?
Well, it depends on when we are required to begin that process of preparing for the by-election. I think that question can only be ably answered when we come to that period. Either is it in June, is it July, is it August, is it September? But now it would be premature for me to say whether we shall be in position to hold that by-election.
Maybe the issue.
We want it all back understand.
Yes.
They not say there shall be no.
We understand it as a commission. Talks of polling day, because you cannot talk of the polling process takes place on a specific day. And the law has said that the Electoral Commission cannot set a day for polling or for voting unless and until nominations have been concluded for that particular elective office. So as we talk now, we cannot set the date for presidential elections, nor parliamentary elections, or local government elections until after nominations have been done. However, you can do your own tabulation, because Article 61, Clause 2, is the benchmark, defines the timelines within which the general election must be held. It is within the first 30 days or the remaining 122 days to the expiry of the term of government. Now, when you look at if you do some simple tabulation, the term of government will lapse or expire on 12th of May 2006. So you count 122 days backwards, okay? You get to about January 10th or 11th or 12th, around there. That's when those days begin from that time. Then you count the first 30 days going forward now of the 122 days. So that's why we say in our roadmap, if you recall, we say that polling for presidential, parliamentary, local government shall take place between 12th of January and 9th or 10th of February 2026. So now, if you count 6 months, therefore, from 12th January, you find you fall around 12th July 2026, and that's why 2025. So that's why we are saying, at the moment, today is 20th of May, would be very speculative for us to start talking of when we shall be, or whether we shall be able to hold that by-election if all the other due processes have been exhausted or complied with. It is very premature.
Okay, my lord, one would like to know.
From what, in this particular petition, you will all recall, I think, the main ground by the petitioner, that is Nambi, was that the failure by the Commission to declare or announce the results from the 14 polling stations, okay, disadvantaged her. That probably if those results had been declared, she could have won. That was her case, all right? And we did concede and accept that indeed we could not declare the results from those 14 polling stations because some people came and destroyed the results after counting. And that was not the fault of the Electoral Commission. For us, we organized everything in accordance with the law. We expected the other stakeholders also to act in accordance with the law, and therefore we're not in position to declare those results. That the court seems to have found that, look, as far as you did not declare those results, therefore, you did not comply with the law. And therefore, we are saying, okay, we respect that court decision for now. We are going to study the judgment and see the grounds on which the court based itself, and then we determine the way forward. But for now, we are saying the Electoral Commission acts in accordance with the law, performs its tasks and duties. We expect all other stakeholders to do the same. Well, ekyo nga bwe ngambye nti engeri wakyaliwo emitendera emirala mu mateeka egisobola okugobererwa oba abo bonna batamatidde. Ekyokubiri, ate tulina okulinda kiraaka wa palamenti atutegeeze kiki ekiriwo ekifo oba ekiri mu palamenti oba tekiriiwo. Okutandika okubala ennaku zennyini ddala nga tumaze okutegeezebwa kiraaka wa palamenti nti ekifo ekiri mu palamenti mukijjuze. Era ssemateeka tugamba nti tutandika okubala ennaku ez'enkaaga okuva ku lunaku lwe tufunamu ebbaluwa ya kiraaka wa palamenti. Sigamba nti amawulire gagambye mumanyi gundi ekyokulabirako mwami omugenzi Segirinya bwe yafa. Ennaku enkaaga tezatandikira ku lunaku lwe yafa. Wabula ennaku nkaaga twatandika ozibala kuva ku lunaku kiraaka wa palamenti yatuwandikira n'atutegeeza. Kandi naffe tugamba nti kusinziira mu mateeka tetusobola okuyingira oba okuteekawo enteekateeka ey'okulonda mpaka tumaze okufuna okukakasibwa okutegeezebwa okuva ewa kiraaka wa palamenti nti waliwo kifo ekiri wano kya Kawempe North, muteekewo enteekateeka ey'okujjuza ekifo kino nga ssemateeka bw'atulambika. Ekyo tetunatuuka ku level eyo. Well, okusinziira mu ssemateeka etugamba nti bwe batubuzaayo ennaku nga emyezi nga 6 kulonda kuli kwa bonna, then okulonda kwonna by election oba kujjuza ekifo mu palamenti tekukirizibwa okusinziira mu ssemateeka. Naye nga bwe bagambye kati awo tetunatuuka kusalawo y'engeri eyo, tetunatuukawo.